Is it a issue, a problem, or any idea of receiving free gifts from somebody? Are you aware to the concept? You heard about this? Right? So Abram was told to go down to leave Haran. He travels to Israel, to Canaan. And what happens when he arrives to Canaan? Right? There's a hunger, no food, right? So what does he do? Go down to Egypt. They come down to Egypt. So let's say verse 12, let's read. Vayakiru otach hamitzrim, when the Egyptians will see you, ve'amru ishto zot is his wife, ve'hargu oti, they'll kill me, ve'otach chayu, and they'll leave you alive, right? So Abraham is asking from Sarah, he's telling her, Imrina, please say, Achotiat, you're my sister. Leman, in order, yitav li ba'avurech. What is Abraham saying? Please say you're my sister. That what?
Kill him.
Okay, but in the words of the Torah, what does it say?
So, which 56?
Page 56, verse 13. Say, please, you're my sister. Lemani tav li ba'avurech. That it may go well with me. Right? So, and it has a few meanings and a few ways you could explain it. But yitav, what's yitav? What's the word yitav from the word tov? Are you familiar with the word tov? Good? Right? Leman yitav, that will be good for me. What is the good? So, very interesting, Rashi says that they'll give me gifts. Yitnu li matanot. That's what Rashi says here. Leman yitav li yitnu li matanot. Okay? As well, this is in Egypt, okay? So, okay? As well, later on, again, when the second time, when he has the same story with Avimelech, the place of Avimelech. So, they take Sarah, right? He brings her back, right? And he gives gifts to Abraham, and Abraham receives it. Okay, so those are the two places that Abraham does receive a gift, or willing to give gifts, or is taking gifts from in Egypt, right? And the story of Avimelech. Verse 22. This is talking after it was a major war going on. If you realize, guys, yesterday or in the last week during the parasha, it was a major war going on. Probably, guys, in history, this is the first war going on. If you just look in details, very interesting. The back in the day, there were kingdoms, right? So each one had a control on a certain territory, and you had a king. There were 4 kings fighting against the 5, right? So this is actually the first war that is happening. Where this is happening? Where? Where's Dom? In Israel, right? So the first war that is happening in history, right, is in Israel. It's not the first fight. The first fight was who? The 2 brothers, Cain and Hevel, right? That he was jealous, he kills his brother. So it's not the first fight, but it's the first war that countries or kingdoms are fighting, right? And interesting enough that it's over Israel. One of the kings that are involved there and actually that initiates all this is Nimrod. Did you hear about this king Nimrod? Very interesting, right? The same idea. He wanted to take control of the world. He was the one that tried to build the Babylonian tower, and God stopped him and spread out. So Nimrod says, okay, if it doesn't go in a good way, right, trying to build the Babylonian tower, let's try to force them to accept my kingdom. And they go out to war trying to control the world. So that's just in the brackets, okay? So there's a major war going on in Israel, and one side wins, and they captured, right? They took away people of Sodom, and who is there? Who is captured also? Who is taken away? Lot. Who is Lot? The nephew of Abraham. So Abraham hears the story, right away he gets his people with him. 318 people that are servants, workers by Abraham Avinu. They go and fight and release, right? And take back, right, all the spoil and bring back, right, all the goods that were taken from Sodom, including Lot. So they come back from the war. So let's read page 64, verse 21. So this is coming back from the war. Vayomer melech Sodom, says the king of Sodom, El Avram, to Avram, ten li hanefesh, give me the people. Right? All the people that captured, give me back. The harichush, what's harichush? The spoil, the all the goods, right? Kachlach. So take whatever they took, cows, animals, tanks, ammunition, right? Airplanes, right? That you keep to yourself. But the people give back to me. So look what does Avram answer back. Vayomer Avram el melech Sodom, harimoti yadi, I'll raise my hand el Hashem, kel elyon, the God above, koneh shamayim va'aretz, the creator of heaven and earth. If I'll take from you imichut, a string, ve'atzroch, a shoelace, right? Imikach mikol asher lecha, if I take anything from you, Velo tomar, you shouldn't say, Ani hesharti, right? I is the one that made Abraham wealthy. So over here, you see very clear, Abraham was offered, here, take from the spoil, take it, right? You bring it. You went, you fight it, right? You got it, take it, it's for you. What does Abraham say?
No.
Nothing, I'm not taking a string or shoelace from you. That you shouldn't say that I'm the one, this king of Sodom shouldn't say, I'm the one that made wealthy Abram. So the question is, first let's see, is it a conflict here? In the beginning we saw that Abram was willing to take from Pharaoh and Avimelech, right? When they took away Sarah, right? Abram was willing to take from Pharaoh and Avimelech, and over here, no. That's question number one. Question number two, if he refuses Abram, is it really a halachic idea, a Jewish idea, not to receive gifts from others? So those are the two questions. Something minor, right? Abram was willing to receive. So from Pharaoh or from Avimelech wasn't huge, it was something minor. That's why he was willing to receive. But all the spoils from the war, right, he didn't want to receive. That's number one. Okay. Another answer is that at this point Abraham wasn't rich yet. So it was no concern. What did Abraham say there? Why he doesn't want to take from the king of Sodom? That he shouldn't say what?
That he did it.
I'm the one that made Abraham rich, right? So there's no concern yet over here by Pharaoh and Avimelech because Abraham wasn't rich yet. So therefore he was able to take from them. Only later on when he becomes so rich, right, then is the concern. Yes?
I wasn't rich.
Why he wasn't?
Back from Egypt with a lot of stuff.
Well, first one is the
Egypt.
the first one he is in Egypt is by Pharaoh.
Yes, and he
So
came,
he's-
came back
remember-
to Canaan with a lot of...
And then he has again the story with Avimelech. So both of them, he didn't get to the richest point that is possible. Okay? So only after that after the story of Egypt and Avimelech, and they both gave him a lot of gifts, and he was doing well, then actually it says that he was doing so well, and he had a split from Lot, right? His nephew, and each one went to his direction. Okay? Okay. Some say very interesting that he was just trying to make her happy. That, say you're my sister and they'll be good for me and they'll give me gifts, but he didn't really mean that.
But it wasn't gift.
Some say, one second, right? Just to try to make her happy. Some say the following. Some say the following. It's a very interesting idea. What is he saying here? Say that you're my sister in order that they should save me, right? And it will be good to me. Now, what about Sarah? Is he not worried for her? I mean, she is a married woman. Is she allowed to have relationship with another man? So he solved his problem. What about her?
Got taken care
Huh?
of. That got taken care of.
So some say, right? That's an explanation. I mean, right? You're worried that they might kill you because they'll think that you're the husband, right? But what about her? So some say the idea is like this. Say, she was saying like this. Say that you're my brother, right? And I will tell them that you are married. You are a married woman. And I'm looking, right? Right? I'm looking for the husband. So that's the idea. So like that, he's saving both. So some say like this. I'll tell them that you're my brother. That you're my sister, sorry. Tell them that you're my sister, right? And I will tell them that you are a married woman. Not to me, but you're a married woman, and we're looking for the husband. So like that, he's saving both, right? He's saving him that they won't kill him because he's not the husband, right? And they won't touch her because knowing that she's a married woman. So like that, all should work out, right? You okay? Abram they won't kill because he's not the husband. Sarah they won't take because she is married. They'll come to Abram and Abram will tell, right? Hey, she's married and we're looking for the husband. Okay? And why? Because they want to find out if he's alive or dead and such. And if no, she'll remarry, but they want to find the husband. Okay? So some say. Okay, guys, so that answers the conflict. How come from Pharaoh and Avimelech he was willing to take and not from the king of Sodom? Okay? That's just to answer the first question. Now the second question, guys. Is it in the halakha by the Jewish people an issue, a problem, idea of not receiving gifts? So, guys, if you open the book of Mishlei, you've heard about the book of Mishlei? Mishlei is the wisdom of Shlomo HaMelech that he wrote all kind of ideas and lessons for life. Mishlei, one of the books, you know that Shlomo HaMelech was the wisest man on earth, right? Wisest whatsoever, that was on earth. And he wrote a few books, and one of them is Mishlei. Well, in Mishlei 15, verse 27, is a verse there, and it says in the end of the verse, Vesoneh, whoever hates, matanot, gifts, yichyeh, whoever will hate gifts will live. So what is Shlomo saying? Shlomo HaMelech saying? Don't take gifts, right? Soneh matanot yichyeh. Okay? So that's the verse in the Mishlei. Let's see how we go about it. So we'll go over in the Talmud a few cases that talk about it. The first case is brought down in Tractate Kiddushin. It was a man that was looking in to buy a piece of land, right? So let's say in this matter, let's make it clear that you should understand. David was looking to buy a piece of land, right? Ronnie comes and actually buys the land. So who's looking first to buy the land? David, right? And who actually bought it? Ronnie. So David, which in the case of the Gemara is Rav Gidel, let's call him Rav Gidel, right? Rav Gidel wasn't happy. I was looking to buy the land, and here comes Rab Abba, his name is Rab Abba, comes and buys it. So, very good. So comes the holiday, right? And they go to the rabbi. And the rabbi calls Rav Kahana, he calls him, right? Rabbi Abba, sorry. He calls Rabbi Abba, the guy that bought it. And he tells him like this, what do you say about a situation that a man is searching in the trash, in the garbage, to food? And comes somebody and grabs it, right? So you have the poor man searching for food. Somebody from the outside comes and grabs it, right? It was a piece of bread or cake and grabs it. So Rabbi Abba says that man is evil, Rasha. So the rabbi says to him, how come you did something similar to it? What did he do? What did Rabbi do? Bought a field that somebody else was looking into it. So the rabbi tells Rabbi Abba, how come you did it? So Rabbi Abba says, sorry, I didn't know. So far, so good? So the buyer, right, Rabbi Abba says, I didn't know that somebody was looking in this land. Okay, now what?
They made it into a house.
So, Rabbi Abba says like this, the buyer says like this, to sell it to him, I can't sell it to him. Why? Because there was a sign, this is the first property that Rabbi purchased, that he bought. It's a bad sign if you buy something and sell it right away. People don't look on you good, I don't know. Back in the day, it seems to be it was an issue that to sell the first property right away doesn't look good. So Rabbi Abba says like this, it creates a bad name maybe, so people won't do business with you, so it could affect them badly. So he says like this, to sell it, right, I cannot sell. It will cause me damage. So Rabbi Abba, the buyer, he's a tzaddik, he didn't know that somebody else was looking into it. So he says, okay, what do we should do? To sell it, I cannot sell. I'm willing to give it for free. Yeah, let him take it, right? So Rani is willing to give to Rabbi Abba is over here and Rav Gidel is over here, right? And he says, take it back. I didn't know that you were looking first. Well, Rav Gidel want it or no? Rav Gidel says, no, I don't want to take it for free. Soneh matanot tichyeh, right? We know that Shlomo HaMelech said that you shouldn't take gifts for free. So here we go, we're stuck. He doesn't want to sell it for what reason?
It's bad.
Bad sign, right? You bought a piece of property, you're selling it right away, bad sign. He's willing to give it for free. He doesn't want to take it. Why he doesn't want to take it for free?
I don't want to receive gifts.
Doesn't want to receive, right? And the property remains like that, and in the meanwhile, the prices increase.
I thought they made
Another piece of Talmud, guys, in Tractate Baba Batra. So it says like this, there are partners that have a piece of land. The Talmud says that, at one point, if the partnership doesn't go well, what do you do when the partnership doesn't go well? Split, right? When the partnership doesn't, you split. But it has to be a minimum amount. The minimum amount has to be 8 amot. You have to have that at least should be enough to each one. That each one will receive 4 amot. Technically, you have to have 4 amot. What happened, guys, if they are partners for 7 amot? So what we do now? You need the minimum that works to split is 8. Right? So each one gets 4, and as we say, Shalom al Israel, bye-bye, each one goes to his way. Right? But what we do when they are sharing, they are partners for 7. Now what we do? Okay, so the Talmud says like this. Could one say like this? Right? Here. Okay, we have our 2 friends here, right? Could one say like this? You take 4 amot, right? And I'm willing to take only 3. Is that a problem? Okay, guys. So the Talmud says like this. One opinion says, right? If one offers, listen, you take the 4 and I take the 3. So it's okay, good to go. Because one of them offers it. He's happy with that. He wants a split. He can't continue this partnership. They both actually cannot. So he's offering, you take the 4 and I'll take the 3 and shalom, bye. So one opinion says it's fine. The other opinion is saying, oops, you have a problem. What's the problem? He's receiving a gift. Right? Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel says, this is in Tractate Baba Batra, that even if he says, right, you take the 4, right, and he's offering, you take the 4 and I'll take the 3, he could refuse and say no. Why? The Amar Le, because the guy that he's offering to give him the 4, he says, to pay you, I don't have money to pay you the extra. I don't have money. or I don't want to invest in it. So to give you money for the extra I don't have, right? And to receive it as a gift I don't want. Soneh matanot yichyeh. Okay? So this is the second place that I'm showing you guys, right? The earlier one was in the tractate Kiddushin, about the man looking in to buy a piece of land. Somebody else bought it, right? The question is how we solve the problem now. He didn't know that the first one was looking into it, right? And to give it as a gift, right, is a problem. And the second one is over here, the two partners that want to split, right? So, right, how do we solve the problem? It's not enough, really, the measure is not enough to give to each one four. How we go? So one opinion said, if one is willing to give the big area, the four, take it. And the one says, no, he could refuse and say, I don't want to receive gifts. Okay, so far so good? Okay, so how we go by this? There are other places, but for now, guys, these are the two places that I showed you. Those are the main ones that talk about this subject. So we have Mishlei that King Shlomo says, the one that will hate, right, won't receive gifts, he'll live. Soneh matanot yichyeh. And we see in the Talmud the two cases that actually they take place. So how we go by this? Okay, so let's try to clarify, and I'll give you, right, Tractate Berachot. In Tractate Berachot, in page 10, the Talmud says like this: Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, harotze lehenot ke'elisha, whoever wants a benefit, enjoy, received gifts, like the prophet Elisha, right? It's fine. Okay? The prophet Elisha, the one that we know that he was traveling, and they put him in an attic, and they set up a nice bed for him, a table, a light, right? So they're helping him out when he was traveling. So the Talmud says, harotze lehenot ke'elisha is fine. If you want to be like Elisha and to benefit from others, it's fine. V'sheino rotze lehenot, but if you decide that you don't want to benefit, like Shmuel, like the prophet Shmuel, it's also fine, right? So the Talmud says that if you want to be like Elisha, that we see that he did receive from others, it's fine. And if you want to be like Shmuel, we know that wherever he traveled, he took everything with him, that others shouldn't have to give him, right? So, right, that no one will have to give him. So the Talmud says, right, if you want to be like Elisha, it's okay. And if you decide that you want to be like Shmuel, to refuse to take anything from somebody, right, it's also fine. Okay, that is Tractate Berachot. So the question is, what's going on here? Which one is better, right? The Talmud says you could decide to be like Elisha and to receive from others, or to be like Shmuel and not to take from others. Which one is better?
Find a perfect balance.
What is the right thing? Is it equal? You can do whatever you want? Or what's going on here? So, one of the explanations that I saw, guys, and that could answer and give you a bit clearer to the whole idea. So remember, there is a verse in Mishlei. Zach, before you came in, we mentioned there's a verse in Mishlei. Shlomo HaMelech wrote the book of Mishlei, and it says the man that will hate gifts will live. Meaning, it shouldn't be, in a life thing that you're doing, receiving the whole time gifts. Right? So it's such an idea. So how we explain this verse, and how we explain this Gemara in Brachot, right? If you want, you can be like Elisha to receive from others, and if you want to be like Shmuel, not to receive from others. So, the explanation that I saw, and actually it makes sense. So the story is like this. Depends how you learn, guys, the verse in Mishlei. How do you understand? When Shlomo HaMelech said, Soneh matanot yichyeh, why? What's the problem? The one that will hate gifts will live. Why? What's the problem? So Rashi says, since that he refused to receive gifts, more so he'll stay away from stealing. You hear what Rashi is saying? That if he won't receive gifts, more so he'll stay away from stealing.
It's like a safeguard.
That's what Rashi is saying, right? Rashi and another commentary also over here say that is like a fence not to steal. If you won't receive gifts from others, more so you won't steal. The other commentaries, like the Rabbeinu Bechaya and others, say very interesting idea. The Rabbeinu Bechaya says the following, guys, very interesting idea, unbelievable. The Rabbeinu Bechaya says, you know what is the last commandment? We have 10 commandments. The first one is, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, Am Hashem your God. What is the last one? Lo tachmod. What's lo tachmod? You shouldn't be jealous with what your friend has. The Rabbeinu Bechaya says the first one and the last one are connected. And he says the following, the one that is jealous the whole time with what others have, he'll constantly receive gifts from others, is a lack of his faith in Hashem. Because if, right, he has a loss, tava, constantly looking on what the others have, and he always feels that he's missing, so it's a lack of faith in Hashem. Somebody that has full faith in Hashem wouldn't take gifts from others, because he say, Hashem will give me whatever I need. And if I didn't get it, it means I don't deserve it. So the Rabbeinu Bechaya has a whole different idea, right? That the whole idea of receiving, you shouldn't take gifts, is a lack in the faith of Hashem. That you know that Hashem, right? The master, the creator of the world, and he gives, we believe also in hashgacha pratit, providential guidance, and each one gets exactly what he deserves. So if you're constantly looking on and jealous with the others and receiving gifts from them, is a lack in the faith of an Hashem. So the Rabbeinu Bechaya says that the last commandment is connected to the first one. If you fulfill the last one, you really, right, also fulfilling the first one, Anochi Hashem Elokecha. Okay, so those are the two approaches. What is the issue? What is Shlomo HaMelech saying, right? The one that will hate gifts will live. According to Rashi, is if you won't, it's a issue of stealing, so to speak. That we're sure that if you won't receive gifts, for sure you won't steal. According to Rabbeinu Bechaya, is a lack in the faith of Hashem, believing in Hashem. Why are you taking gifts constantly from others? Believe in Hashem. He'll supply, He'll give to you. What will be the difference between the two explanations, the two approaches? So commentaries explain like this. How about somebody's giving you something to use, not forever? Is it okay or no? Right? They're helping you out, but temporarily, you right? You could use it. They're giving you a bed, a bike, a car, right? But you have to give it back. It's not forever. So over here, it might be the difference, right, in the two approaches. If you're talking about the issue of stealing, there's no problem of stealing here, right? Because you have to give it back, right? But if you're talking that it's a lack in the faith of Hashem, so that might be also a problem. If you're constantly living on gifts of others, right? Oops, it's a lack in the faith of Hashem. So that might be, guys, the two approaches. Elisha, Hanavi, the prophet, what did we see? That the woman that he stayed by, she provided him a bed, a table, right, and a light. Is he taken with him? Right? He wasn't like the Israelis. You know, the Israelis, they go to a hotel, you know what they take with them? So, right? So that's to say, some are Israelis, right? Today's becoming better, right? So we're assuming that Elisha, right, wasn't like that. He's not taking it. What is he? Using it, right? So Elisha, so that's what the Talmud says, that, right? If you want to be like Elisha, that's okay, because you're only using it, right? You're not taking with it. But if you want to be like Shmuel, meaning Shmuel even didn't want to use of the others, right? He held that it might be is a lack in the faith of Hashem, even to use something of the others. Okay? So that could be the difference, guys. What is the explanation, right? What is the issue, right, with the idea of refusing to receive gifts, right? Is it an idea staying away from stealing, or is a problem in the faith of Hashem? So that might be the two explanations. That's the idea in the Gemara right, in Barachot, that Elisha was holding, right, that it's a problem of theft. So therefore, if you're just using something and giving it back, it's not a problem. But if you wish to be like Shmuel, meaning that Shmuel was extra careful, because it might be a lack in the faith of Hashem, that if you're constantly receiving gifts from others, that might be an issue. Okay, so those are the two approaches, guys, right, that you could explain. And that's why in the case also, where I told you the partners that wanted to split. So one opinion is saying, right, if one is willing to give it, so that's okay. Why? Because he's gaining from it also. The partner that wants to split the partnership, he's willing to give to his partner a bigger piece, right, because he can't continue this partnership. So he's gaining from it, right? So there's no problem of stealing, right? But the other opinion says, but hold on, you don't have the problem of stealing, but you might have the problem of lack in faith of Hashem, right? So with this explanation, guys, you could explain a few places in the Talmud, but it all starts with the idea, how do you explain the verse in Mishlei, right? Soneh matanot yichyeh. Is it an issue of stealing, right? Receiving constantly gifts, it might come to stealing, or it's a lack in the faith of Hashem. According to that, you could explain well different places. Have a wonderful day.